Here's how you play Cabin by the Sea. Cabin by the Sea is a cozy solitaire-style game for one player. In this game, you're working to build oceanside cabins using the materials around you, and along the way, the tides can bring you new supplies, but they can just as easily drag your materials away to get lost at sea. Your goal is to complete your cabins while losing as few materials as possible to the ocean. All you need to play this game is a single deck of cards, and you can start by taking out the jokers, because we don't need them. Then you're going to separate the rest of the deck into 3 piles, one of which has all the aces, the second of which has all the face cards, and the third has all the numeric cards. Go ahead and take the numeric cards and give them a quick shuffle if you haven't already. Once they're all shuffled, take 12 of those cards and you're going to mix them in randomly with the ace cards to make a new smaller pile. Give that a shuffle as well. Once those are all shuffled together, you're going to put this pile face down over here, and that's going to represent your supply pile. Then shuffle the face cards, and then you're going to place them here face up in order to represent the beach. Lastly, you're going to take the numeric cards and then leave them right over here in order to represent the sea. And then we're ready to get started. Every turn, you're going to draw the top card from the sea and take a look at it. And from here, you have 2 options. You can choose to use the seas card to create or build on a cabin stack. And the cabin stacks are going to be 8 piles of cards that you create over here. But let's say you pull a card from the sea and you don't want to use it. Instead, you can then draw the top card of the supply stack or the beach stack and then use that instead. Now, when you do this, the card that came from the sea gets swept out with the tides, so you'll put it in a tide stack face up out here to represent that. Now, you can build up to 8 cabin stacks, and once you've got all 8 started, you must play any new cards on top of stacks that already exist. In order to build a cabin stack higher, you can place a drawn card on top of one of your existing stacks, but the new card has to be of the same suit and also of a higher value than the topmost card. So this 7 of spades can only go on another spades cabin stack, and it has to be bigger than the card below it. So we're going to put it right over here. Now, ace cards are special. They're considered higher value than kings, but they're also still equal to a 1 when stacking. So you could put a 2 or a higher number on top of it later on. Now, after a while, you're gonna run out of sea cards, and once you do, it means the tides have changed. And from now on every turn, you can play cards from the top of the supply deck, the beach deck, or the face-up tide deck. Since the beach deck and the tide deck are face up, you can also look through them at any point if that helps you strategize. Now, if you can't play a chosen card on any of your cabins, then that card gets lost to sea. It'll get placed above the tide pile horizontally, which means it's gone forever. Your goal is to continue building your cabin stacks until all the cards in the game are either in the stacks or lost at sea. Once that happens, you'll total up point values for all of the supplies that you lost. If you had any aces lost at sea, they would equal 3 points each. Face cards equal 2 points each. And then numeric cards equal 1 point each. The lower the total is, the better. Now, there are also a few variations on Cabin by the Sea that you can use to switch up the rules or the difficulty of the gameplay. You can make the game easier by increasing the number of cabin stacks to 9 instead of the usual 8. Or instead, you could make the game harder by only having 7 stacks to work with. There's also the stockpiling variant, which lets you take a revealed sea card and put it on top of the beach pile instead of on a cabin pile. Finally, the Murky Depths variant rule makes it so that after the sea runs out, you shuffle the tide deck and then place it face down so you can't look through it or see a top card when you're gathering materials. And that's it! Try and have as few points as possible lost to the ocean while you build your Cabin by the Sea, and then don't forget to check out the rest of PNW for some more amazing card games inspired by the Pacific Northwest.